Dr. Granville, when it comes to, I mean, I've been into training for the last 12, 13 years now, and I have done programs on emotional quotient and or emotional intelligence before, just as a module per se. I mean, when I did the modules, and it was always focusing on others. And when I was, when I had the privilege of, being mentored and coached by you, and it really dawned on me that it's not about others. It's the first thing, which is the self-awareness,
That's right.
And in fact, in your the past question also, you said that, self-awareness is the most important competency. Well, so when it comes to self-awareness, I realize it's all about me. It's not about others. So
Yeah.
can you say a bit more about it? Because everyone, whenever we talk about EQ, oh yeah, he's EQ-ish. But then if you look at him, that particular person finds it so difficult to manage himself, but he gives suggestion how the others can be calm,
Yeah.
and all of those kind of things.
Good
But
one.
self-awareness is the key. Can you say more about it, Dr. Granville?
Wow, Naga, you've got a knack of asking really very good questions, and you hit at the heart of the core of this whole topic. So how this came about, especially in my own life when I would deal with people, and I realized certain people were cognitively advanced in the way they thought about the subject, in the way they spoke about it, probably really very well read as well. But some of those whom I experienced were not exactly living it, right? So sometimes you can know something, knowing is something, knowing, being able to feel it is something, but doing or being is something totally different, right?
Yeah.
I realized there was a missing element with a few people, and I'm not going to judge anyone. It's just what I noticed that, hey, some people are really smart out there, but they're not exactly practicing it. So yes, knowing is one bit, but we had to practice it. But in order to practice it, it's very easy to learn skills like, okay, connection, right? I go for a rapport course, I go for an NLP course, right? It helps me to learn the skills to be in rapport. It's very easy for me to influence someone by persuading. That's also skill-based, right? If I learn 5 different steps, I can help, well, at least I can be a lot more influential. Persuading, giving feedback, all these are skills which I can learn in 5 steps and 6 steps and 7 steps, it's so easy to pick it up. But when you're doing it and you're not congruent, I think people feel it straight away. They can feel it in seconds. And that incongruence is all about being grounded. And that groundedness happens from the inside. So we have to work on ourselves, because then the message gets consistent, is believable. I think it is definitely something which is frank and sincere, coming from the heart. So these things, one would think, can you fake it? Yeah, you can choose to fake it, but how it comes across, I think somebody can feel it pretty fast. If they're astute and sharp enough, they can definitely feel it. Hence the importance of working on not just the awareness bit, right? But how you manage your emotions, which again sounds like, okay, I've heard this before, emotional management. People tend to say this, right? Yeah, I know what you mean. I've heard this before. But it's the how you really manage your emotions from the inside, right? And when you're able to do this, doing it is one thing. Being able to do this without thinking about it is a different story, because then it becomes part of your being. Then you become calm and relaxed and poised and patient without having to think too much about it. But of course, it starts with having to think how you're being before you just be without having to think. So it all happens right from one stage where you learn how to do it. And then when it's part of you, I think the outer message becomes very consistent with the inner intention.
Wow.
Hence the importance of, the intrapersonal bits of EQ.
Amazing. Thank you so very much. I mean, what are the words that you've used, Dr. Granville? They are, like being congruent and moving from knowing to being, and, and being humble, staying grounded. And well, this is phenomenal. I mean, the self-awareness can help people to stay really, really grounded when they accept it. And in that, the work that you've been doing, and I personally have experienced your competency profile that which I've used for myself, and now I'm using it for others.
Great.
In India, and we really are able to see what kind of awareness that we can create for them as to where they can, take things forward in their life in just being congruent to themselves. And most of the times people look at aligning with others, forgetting the alignment that they need to have within themselves.
That's right.
And thank you very much.
Nice summary, Naga.